Well, thank you, Michelle.
Wow, it's
Merry
really that
Christmas
easy,
from
dude,
the
to
Jupiter
fucking do this?
Control Center here in Kourou, French
Woo!
Guiana.
Ooh, get ready for
Four
some more
will be
live streams,
live.
dude.
An Ariane 5 rocket on
My
its
hair's
launch
all
pad,
fucked up. Look at that
ready
shit.
to send the James Webb
Let's
Space
watch a
Telescope
spaceship
on the
blow up
initial
live.
phase of its journey. The fueling of the Ariane 5's first and upper stages began before sunrise, and in the last few minutes, mission controllers here in Kourou
Let me tell you
and at
something,
the
Johnny.
Telescope's Control Center at the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore conducted polls,
Lift up
with
here.
all positions reporting they are go to proceed into the final phase of the countdown. Launch controllers have been monitoring
Launch
weather
it up,
conditions
Lord.
throughout the night, keeping tabs on clouds and wind speeds, both at ground level and in the flight path of the Ariane 5, ensuring that all of the precise commit criteria are acceptable for launch. Right now, we have a green board, no issues as the countdown proceeds, no issues again being tracked by the flight control team here in Kourou.
This is interesting.
By the way,
I
our
just found out
broadcast
you could do
today
this
is a
with YouTube.
collaborative effort between
So I'm going to be
NASA
doing this
and
an
the
awful
European
lot, dude.
Space Agency. So that's it now from the Ariane 5 mission control here in Kourou. We'll be back with you soon. For now, let's go back to the Goddard Space Flight Center and Michelle Thumb.
And I'm not going to tell anybody how to do it either.
So it asks big science questions. It demonstrates
There's Wolverine. Look at her.
It inspires and excites people to dream and wonder. And the spark of inspiration is the ignition of creativity. Kids all over the world.
You fucking got to do something with your fucking bangs, girl.
And now we have a collection of young artists ready to showcase their work.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Girardi, and this is Delta V, and we're kicking off the Unfold the Universe Challenge with NASA and the James Webb Space Telescope. NASA is hosting an Unfold the Universe Art Challenge. Use your imagination to share what you believe the Webb Telescope will find.
Better find that fucking $10 million they spent.
I believe that the Webb Telescope will see galaxies, stars,
I believe Johnny can touch the sky.
the moon, and don't
Johnny,
forget
NASA's got you brainwashed, dude.
the sun.
Oh. They did it to me, dude, too. So don't worry, they get you while you're in school, Johnny. Oh, donate to NASA, Johnny.
Up in the sky.
Leave the kids out of it, dude. Just take our money and fucking launch this fucking piece of shit.
Ooh, space. Thanks, Greta. Good job.
This is my picture
Ugh.
of space. Hello, my name is Gabriel. I am from Romania. This is
From
how
Transylvania.
I imagine
Fuck.
space. Hello everyone, good morning. This is a drawing of distant galaxy that can be seen by James Webb Space Telescope. Hi, my name is Anastasia, and this is what I do when I think the telescope will look like. What the telescope will see. I do the Earth.
Yeah, that's
the
probably
sun,
what it'll look like.
the
Exactly like
planet,
that, dude.
black holes, and stars.
So
Ugh.
we're fielding social media
Ugh.
questions from viewers all over the world this morning, and let's take a couple of minutes to share some responses. There's been a couple questions about how long will it take for images.
Take a fucking
to come
chainsaw
out.
to your
There's
hair,
a lot
dude.
of things that need to happen before.
How do you
the
hear
images come
anything?
out. So Macarena, why don't you take us through some of that?
Yes, so for the first scientific, beautiful images to share
What
with
is
the
that?
public, that'll take 6 months.
Why are
The
these
reason
girls
is
so
because it
weird
is-
looking from
So
NASA?
we launched today. It takes a month to take to the orbit place, to the Lagrange 2 point, and then we have a whole period of cooling down the
Ugh.
instruments, aligning the mirrors, and making sure that all the instruments are ready to do science. So the whole process takes 6 months, half a year.
And also, all of those 18 segments of mirrors, something needs to
Yeah.
happen to get them all working together, too, right?
Exactly, because initially you launch with 18 segments and they work separately. So it will take, if you observe one star, you will get 18 little points. So there has to be a process where you take images with NIRCam, which is one of the
How fucking
cameras
long
on
we
board.
got? Half an hour, dude.
Start moving the mirrors slightly to make them work as a single one, and then by the end of this iterative process, you go from 18 points to a very sharp, pristine single point source. So all mirrors act as a single one.
So let's see, we have a question from LV coming in on Twitter. Will Webb be able to enhance detection of comets, asteroids, or meteors
my
into our
chat?
solar system? So that seems we've got a planetary person here.
Sure.
Yeah, well, Webb does have a special observing mode where it's able to track these rapidly moving objects. Because
Where's my
compared
chat,
to
dude?
these distant stars and galaxies,
Did I not
asteroids,
turn it on?
comets, they move
I don't
pretty
think I turned it on,
quickly. And
dude.
so Webb will be able to
I
do
don't know. I'll
this so
figure
that
it
we
out.
can study material that's out
We
there
can be watching some
and
stuff
learn more
together,
about what
dog.
they're made of.
So let's see. There's just so many good questions. We only have time for a few more. So one is from Christian Rodriguez on Facebook. How long will it take James Webb to reach Lagrange point 2? And you might also just
Oh, there it is.
explain what is Lagrange point 2.
So it takes a month. I think it's actually 29 days to get there. And the Lagrange point is this very interesting stable
Alright,
point. So
alright.
the gravitational pull between
Close
the
that
sun
thing
and the
before I
Earth
fuck something up.
creates this point where it is stable and you can, as we can
Thank
see
you.
there, Webb can orbit around the L2 point in a very stable orbit. Only needs a little bit of corrections once in a while. And it can always
Make
have
sure
the
you put it right
sunshine
where we
protecting
can't
the telescope from the
fix
radiation
it
of
when
the sun.
something fucks up,
In
Johnny.
a full year, you can observe any object in the sky, and it's a continuous observation.
Well, thank you very much. We'll hopefully come back to a few more questions later. So this is a big mission with a cast of thousands to bring it to life all over the world. Let's take a brief look at the main locations where Webb took shape on its journey to space.
Inside the massive high bay clean room at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, engineers assembled the 18 gold-covered mirror segments into the backplane of the telescope and integrated the 4 science instruments contributed by international partners. To simulate the harsh environment of launch, they went through vibration tests and acoustic tests, and to simulate a large thermal vacuum chamber. But it wasn't enough to hold both the instruments and the mirrors, so the telescope boarded a plane to Houston, Texas, to visit the only thermal vacuum chamber in the world big enough to fit the entire assembly. Chamber A at the Johnson Space Center was originally built to test the Apollo spacecraft, and half a century later, it provided a grueling 100-day test for the Webb telescope. Next, the telescope traveled to Northrop Grumman's facilities in Redondo Beach, California, to meet up with its other half, the Sunshield and spacecraft bus. Fully assembled at last, the entire observatory went through yet more tests. Many focused on making sure the spacecraft could properly fold up for launch and unfold in space. Then in September 2021, Webb caught a ride on a specialized cargo ship and set out on a 16-day voyage to the European Space Agency's spaceport in Kourou, French Guiana. According to its travel itinerary, that's Webb's last port of call on Earth.
Once Webb gets into space, we're going to have some exciting things to tell you about what happens next, from its extraordinary engineering to the thrilling scientific adventure it's about to enable us to undertake. But launch comes first. And for that, I'm going to turn it over to Katie Haswell, our host at the launch site, and one of NASA's...
Oh, no, I'm using my fucking hotspot, Johnny.
Commentator Rob Navis.
No.
It's all yours, Katie.
Fuck. I gotta switch over, dude. I gotta restart the stream.
Indeed, Michelle. Well,
I'm using my
it's all
hotspot. I need to be
looking
using
very good
PDA,
here
not
at the
dot,
spaceport for
not with a
Christmas
fucking
Day
tether,
launch
so
operations
that I'm not
running
using my
smoothly,
data
the countdown ticking over
with my
nicely.
hotspot,
All
so I can play
systems are
Fortnite on
green
that.
and we are go.
I'll be right back, Johnny.